In 1972, Bill Stoneham painted The Hands Resist Him. Inspired by a childhood photograph and his own adoption, he rendered a young boy and a female doll standing before a glass door. Behind them, dozens of tiny, disembodied hands pressed against the pane. Stoneham intended it to represent the threshold between the waking world and the realm of dreams and possibilities. The painting's dark reputation began early. Within a few years of its creation, 3 men closely associated with the artwork died: the gallery owner who first displayed it, the art critic who reviewed it for the Los Angeles Times, and the actor John Marley, who had purchased it. These deaths were attributed to natural causes, but the eerie coincidence birthed a legend of a curse. For nearly 2 decades, the painting vanished from public view. It was eventually discovered behind an old brewery in California, discarded among trash and junk. A local family found it, and struck by its haunting quality, decided to take it home. They had no idea they were bringing an object into their house that would soon terrorize their children and go viral across the globe. The new owner's young daughter soon began claiming that the figures in the painting were moving. She told her parents that the boy and the doll were fighting or coming out of the canvas during the night. Skeptical at first, the parents set up a motion-triggered camera to prove to the child that it was merely her imagination. What the camera captured changed their lives forever. In February 2000, the family listed the painting on eBay with a terrifying disclaimer. They claimed the painting was haunted and included photos that appeared to show the doll pointing a gun at the boy. The listing warned that they were not responsible for any supernatural occurrences that might happen to the buyer. The haunted eBay painting became one of the first internet memes. As the listing went viral, people claimed they felt physically ill just looking at the images on their computer screens. Reports of fainting, nausea, and sudden bursts of irrational fear flooded the internet. Some even claimed their printers malfunctioned when trying to print the image. The Hands Resist Him became a digital plague, spreading dread through the glowing tubes of the early web. The painting was eventually purchased for $1,025 by Kim Smith, an art gallery owner in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Smith was skeptical of the paranormal claims but fascinated by the story. When the painting arrived, he placed it in storage. He soon began receiving emails from people around the world begging him to destroy it, or claiming they had been attacked by the image online. Upon closer inspection, the gun the doll was holding in the grainy eBay photos turned out to be a dry cell battery and some tangled wires, a prop from the original 1972 painting. This debunked the threat seen in the photos, but it didn't stop the stories. Believers argued that the entities were simply changing their appearance to deceive and frighten those who watched them. The boy in the painting has a strangely vacant, hollow look. His eyes are dark pits, and his posture is stiff, almost like a doll himself. Critics have noted that he seems to be guarding the door, or perhaps being held hostage by the hands behind him. This ambiguity is what makes the image so unsettling. It feels like a snapshot of a moment where something very wrong is about to happen. The female doll is perhaps the most disturbing element. She has no eyes, only black sockets, and her jaw is slightly unhinged. She serves as a guide for the boy, but her mechanical nature suggests she is an emissary from the world behind the glass. In many haunted reports, it is the doll that is seen moving first, her wooden limbs twitching in the peripheral vision of the viewer. The glass door represents the thin veil between reality and the other side. Stoneham explained that the hands are other lives or possibilities reaching out. However, to the millions who viewed it online, the hands represented trapped souls or demons trying to break into our world. The painting became a Rorschach test for the viewer's deepest fears about the afterlife and the unknown. Bill Stoneham was shocked to learn his old painting had become a global horror icon. He had long forgotten about the piece until he started receiving messages about its evil nature. He maintained that there was no malice intended in the work, but he admitted that the photograph it was based on had a strange energy that he had tried to capture on the canvas decades ago. Due to the painting's fame, Stoneham was commissioned to paint sequels and even a prequel. These works, such as Resistance at the Threshold, expanded the lore, showing the boy as an old man and revealing more of the world behind the glass. While these newer works are eerie, they have never captured the raw, visceral terror of the original 1972 Hands Resist Him canvas. Paranormal investigators have visited Kim Smith's gallery to study the painting. Some claim to have recorded electronic voice phenomena, EVP, near the crate where it is kept. Others say the room temperature drops significantly when the painting is unveiled. Despite these claims, the painting remains in its box, away from public view, except for rare, highly controlled exhibitions. Psychologists suggest the curse is a result of suggestive priming, because the eBay listing told people the painting was haunted. Their brains looked for anomalies. Every shadow or perceived movement was interpreted as supernatural. The Hands Resist Him is a masterclass in how a narrative can transform a piece of art into a vessel for collective anxiety and digital folklore. The story has evolved into a modern urban legend, often appearing in top 10 haunted objects lists alongside Annabelle the doll. It is a foundational story for the creepypasta genre. The painting proved that an object doesn't need to be ancient or cursed by a witch to be scary. It just needs a compelling, frightening story and a platform like the internet to spread. Kim Smith has turned down numerous offers to sell the painting, including from high-profile horror fans. He treats it with respect, acknowledging its place in internet history. He keeps it in a climate-controlled dark space. He rarely looks at it himself, not out of fear, he says, but to preserve the mystery and the integrity of the piece for future generations of researchers. John Marley, the actor who first owned the painting, is best known for the horsehead scene in The Godfather. Some fans of the legend believe his association with a film about death and Offers You Can't Refuse added a layer of dark glamour to the painting. His sudden death shortly after the gallery showing remains the patient zero event for the alleged curse. Even today, looking at a high-resolution image of the painting can be an uncomfortable experience. The tiny hands against the glass remain its most haunting feature. They are anonymous, numerous, and persistent. They represent the unseen that watches us from the dark. A visual representation of the feeling that we are never truly alone, even in a locked room. The Hands Resist Him remains the most famous haunted painting in the world. It is a monument to the power of art to disturb the soul and the power of the internet to create modern myths. Whether it is truly haunted or just a brilliantly unsettling work of art, the boy and his doll continue to stand at the glass door, forever waiting for someone to let them in.